to the package group weekly retro for, it's April the 17th, I think. I just became bad with dates and uncomfortable with my date reading capabilities after I got it wrong like 3 times in a row. Anyway, I should probably add that to what went not so well. Kicking off is, I think I'm first on the list here with what went not so well. Been busy with org changes. Need to make sure I get the release post done and merged. The ones I can, I've done and merged. I did that last night or yesterday afternoon. So yeah. Next one for me is, it looks like we're going to miss some things this milestone. Given the situation, that's not unexpected or surprising, just that we had a really good run going 100% deliverables, which I was proud of everyone for achieving. We'll get back there again. So this is not meant to be, I was talking to Ian about this morning, and like, how do you phrase this? It's like, of course we like getting everything done, but of course we recognize that there's a difficult situation right now. So no drama. Over to you, Nick.
Hello, everyone. So for me, I feel that's pretty slow to get a few things merged this week and probably last week as well, to be honest. And I wonder if like that I should have been a bit more decisive about moving those forward rather than sort of relying on other people to make decisions and that kind of thing. A couple of my issues had to be pushed back as well, which is probably related to the above point in sort of certain ways, especially for one of them anyways. So yeah, that's me. David, you're next.
So for me, I was planning to start working on the NuGet dependencies issue, but P1 security issue came in and took all the focus. And well, that's it. On to Steve.
A few of the deliverables I've been working on have just been a little bit slower moving than I would have liked this week. And then also this week, I've had a hard time just keeping up with a bunch of conversations that have been happening in various issues and MRs. Just been waking up to a full list of to-dos every day, it seems. Over to Joel.
Who is?
Oh, not here.
He's here. Joel?
Yeah, sorry, my Wi-Fi is unstable today. It's just dropping the sound. So for me, as we move forward, there are several parts of the container registry specification that we are not familiar with. So we find a good amount of small surprises that require us to go and investigate when they were introduced or deprecated and try to come up with a solution to accommodate them on the database. So this requires more work, and yeah, it's frustrating sometimes, but the only way to move is forward. So there we go. On to Nico.
Yeah, so this week I had a lot of struggle with tests. In particular, some stuff that works perfectly locally keeps failing in different ways on CI. So every time I run, there's a different lottery. And this is on the backend world. On the front-end world, I spent a ridiculous amount of time trying to debug something written and rewritten 4 times, and then it was a singleton, 3 lines of changing, everything works. Extremely frustrating. And this week, I have more often than not been pretty grumpy, and I hope it's not spilling over on the rest of the team. If that happened, sorry. And over to Aiden.
So I've been going through the write handlers the route handlers which cause writes to the metadata file system storage and in the registry, and that has been more complex and more involved than I anticipated. So I just did not account for that time to be as much as it was. On to Gigi.
Gigi's back in APAC. Do you want to read for him?
Yeah. Time, date. So Gigi says PyPI development completed and what went well. And then he also says, well, Composer packages development started with first MR merged and lists several new issues. On to you, Tim.
Okay, so two things that went well for me this week. Working with Nico on a small change to the expiration policies was really fun. We were trying to get the GDK set up and get some other tests running, so it was cool. And spent a bunch of time interviewing some of our users and customers this week, talking about some features, and that's been awesome. I've been learning a lot and really enjoying talking to our users. On to Dan.
Thank you. Yeah, final plans have come together for org changes we've discussed internally. It'll all sort of kick off on the 27th for the most part. So thank you everyone for understanding while I've been trying to get that stuff together. Over to Nick.
Yeah, so for me, my coming soon issue that I've been working on to display like the up and coming package registries is going nicely. It's using GraphQL now, which I think is certainly the first GraphQL usage for me in package. I don't know if it's the first in total. It's really cool. So I'm really kind of happy with that. I think it's kind of ready for merging now, or at least to begin going down the path to being merged. I suspect that certain features, how it determines or how it works is still, I don't know. I think it's going to raise a few eyebrows, but we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. Over to David next.
So it looks like we started working on several 17.0 Rails issues. So we have a kind of a head start here. That's great. On my side, I have the security fix for listed on our milestone discussion, which is almost ready. Over to Yen.
This is a really great week for me. I have several good points. First off, I was able to iterate on the container UI based on the solution validation and partnered with the front end team to be able to split it up into actionable issues. So I'm ready to create the epic and start working on the container UI. I'm really excited for that. We completed the jobs to be done validation research. That was a survey that we put out to understand if the strategy and focuses that we have for the package stage in general, so the container registry, et cetera. We got some user feedback and we're feeling really confident about that. Something that was near and dear to my heart, I partnered with Lori to come up with a way to kind of gather information about what the research process is like right now as an experience for product designers and product managers. And so it's exciting to see us as an organization iterate on what has been a pain point for the two of us a few times. And Think Big is continuing to grow, which is really exciting. More people are starting to partake in it. This has led this week to creating an MR for an official Think Big section that isn't just in package, as well as a blog post that we're going to be putting together about where it came from, how we got to there, and the impact that it's had on our team, which is all very, very exciting. Over to you, Steve.
This week I was able to help shepherd two small but very valuable community contributions across the finish line and get them merged. And then in line with that point, I've just been kind of amazed at the overall energy and enthusiasm that all of our community brings when making these contributions. It's super awesome. And then I also was able to successfully step back on an MR that was kind of getting a little bit big and sort of out of scope. And I was able to break it down in order to keep up velocity and prevent, a really long and difficult review from happening. And then very recently, I've learned a little bit about how multi-part file uploads work, thanks to David. Now I can be a workhorse maintainer. Over to João.
So the last couple of weeks have been the most productive ones for me at GitLab, this one included. I did a lot of stuff, so that feels great. On to Nico.
Yeah, so breaking apart the container registry UI with Ian was a nice activity. It was interesting to see what we can do right now, what we can schedule, and help a little bit with the planning. I'm learning more and more about Rails and Ruby, Factory especially. And also wanted to say that we successfully took in the feedback of one of our internal users and implemented in time for the milestone deadline. So we removed some pain points from our internal customers. And to Ailey.
Right. Yeah, so going through those aforementioned handlers was a really good experience for me. The code execution paths really traverse a great number of layers in the registry code. So getting a more holistic sort of idea of the registry was good. I've been working a lot with the storage drivers, which are on the very edge. So having something that's just like taking a fairly high level input and processing it pretty much to completion was super great. And I know that people who do not speak English as a native language are going to be thoroughly unimpressed with me, but I got to do a coffee chat in my second language, which is a cool, neat thing in that GitLab affords.
Cool. Well, thanks everyone. That's all that we have on the agenda. I'm going to stop the recording and people can feel free to hang out and chat if they would like. And there's no obligation to do so if you have other things you'd like to go do. Having said that, thanks very much, everyone. And thank you very much for everyone following along at home. I hope everyone's healthy and safe, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your day and weekend, etc. As much as we can. So see you, everybody.